I could see it becoming that.
What was that ding?
Oh, I think that was me.
Daniel kicked a cat.
Daniel's elevator is here.
I touched my new mic stand. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, stop.
Don't do it again.
I bought a new mic stand. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It has springs on it that you boinged a spring.
Oh
I was putting a pen up.
We cannot talk about the logistics of Daniel's microphone.
Sorry.
It was a cool noise. Anyway.
Hello and welcome to Double Issue. We're going to talk to you about Avengers Endgame. A little film that's come a long way since Captain America 1. The first Avenger.
The very first Marvel movie.
Now it's been a bit of time since we've seen this, Josh and I at least, so we're going to go off a plot synopsis here. Is that okay, Daniel? Do you remember it more?
I remember it pretty good. I was going to say, do we want to do non-spoilery stuff first?
No, if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, stop listening.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Stop listening right now. Because I'm about to give you the plot synopsis so that we could talk about it. In AD 1555, Connor McLeod returns to his former home in Glenfinnan, Scotland, to save his mother from his former friend and village priest, Jacob Kell.
I'm lost. I don't remember this.
Is that the right one?
Highlander Endgame is a 2000 American fantasy action film. Did you know Highlander Endgame is the fourth Highlander film, and Avengers Endgame is the fourth Avengers film?
But how many Highlander films came after?
What do you mean? I don't know.
Like, was it actually the end of its franchise?
No. Is this the end of the Avengers?
No, that could be what sets them apart from each other.
No, they've made Highlander movies since 2000.
Okay, so they both don't know what the fuck Endgame means.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It was the fourth out of, looks like there's 6 of them right now. Plus the series and the animated series and Highlander the Raven.
Okay.
I think you might be thinking about the wrong film. Do you mean Endgame 2009? A story based on the covert discussions that brought down the Aphid regime in South Africa?
No, I mean Endgame, a 2006 film.
Oh, okay.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's The End of the Game, a 1975 American short documentary film directed by Robin Leahy.
All right.
Or is it Endgame, the original drama series centered on brilliant chess master?
We're all done with our Wikipedia jokes. We're talking about Endgame, the season 2 finale of Young Justice, because this is a comic book podcast.
Woo! Comic books!
Endgame is a synonym for bonus round in a television games show.
Oh.
The End Game.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes an SNL skit where they are all on Family Feud make a lot more sense.
So it's like a bunch of Marvel characters on Family Feud.
Yeah. Well, one side was Marvel, and the other side was Game of Thrones, and they were doing Family Feud.
All right. How do we want to do this? The movie was 3 hours, so we got to talk 6 hours, I'm thinking.
I mean, at least. I'll go frame by frame. I'm gonna post the frames into our discussion so that we can...
You know those podcasts where they do like a minute of the movie at a time?
Yeah.
Let's do that for frames.
Okay.
A frame of a movie at a time.
Yeah. What's the normal thing? 24 frames per second? That's the normal movie thing. 24 frames per second. So 24 times 60, we've got 1,440 frames per minute times 181 minutes. We've got 260,000 episodes planned for our Endgame podcast.
What if we also mix up each 24 frame segment into a random generator so that we get a random 24 sections of the movie each week.
No, that's too much.
I thought it mixed up a little bit, but
Like that way we could randomly get some credits frames in there throughout the series. So we're not spending 3 years just talking about the credits for Endgame. People would stop listening at that point.
By the time we get there, it'll be like its own thing.
Yeah. We would have built up such an audience that they would have kept listening. Everyone
will be excited for the Endgame. This has been so many years in the making.
Oh, well, what about general reactions? We can just start.
Yeah, I don't want to do like through the plot. Let's just do like highlights, lowlights.
I don't think anyone knows how time travel works in this movie.
That's science, because both the writers and the directors disagreed.
General impressions.
The writers were the directors, right?
Well, there's like... Hold up.
Oh no, screenplay is by 2 different guys.
Yeah.
I think they helped write on it, though. Surely with something this big, it's not just 2 dudes wrote it. I thought it was a good ending. Like a good capstone for the thing they've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's wrapping up 20 movies, like a chapter of that many films. So I think it did good for that.
Yeah. I thought it had some weird pacing issues.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like the action was not really until the last 30 minutes, and then it was like all action.
Well, that's just an Avengers movie.
No, I'm pretty sure in the other Avengers movies they kind of paced out their action scenes, and this one just
almost all of them also at least start with an action scene. This one started with like everyone's sad.
Yeah. Oh man,
it was like
the opening of this one, like Hawkeye. Just sad.
I don't really have any feelings for Hawkeye, so it didn't really pull on my heartstrings in the same way that I feel like it was supposed to.
Well, I started off with a lot of feelings for Hawkeye after the opening because, spoiler, his family disappears. And, well, he goes on like this samurai adventure, and I started to lose how much I liked him the longer that went on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess there was an action scene in the movie, and it was that, and I went, "Oh, that's not really an action scene."
Because it's a Hawkeye scene.
Because it wasn't that good.
No, it was like an action scene through a window.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's got tattoos and a rad haircut now. He's better than you.
Yeah.
He just kind of went psycho, man.
But that was what he was doing before the snap. Like, that's what he and Natasha just did for a living. So it's weird everyone was upset with him.
Well, they were upset because he was only doing it to foreign people.
Well, he was.
He went to Asia and did it. He went to Mexico and did it. I'm sure there's plenty of bad people in America.
I think what they were going for is he's doing it on a global scale, and most of the world is foreign.
Yeah,
Josh, you take that back. This is America. We own everything from sea to shining sea, Josh.
True.
No, I haven't really cared about Hawkeye since he's left.
Yeah. I did decide during the movie that I would love to have a Hawkeye standalone film in the style of that Hawkeye comic book.
Well, good luck. You're getting a show.
Oh, dang. Well, hey, happy birthday to me.
Did you not know you were getting a show?
Apparently.
Hawkeye's getting a TV show.
I kept up with the news and I went, surely they're not killing Black Widow. She's getting a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we said that about Spider-Man too, so...
And he didn't die. I don't know. There were some weird things, like, I didn't really know the stakes of anything in the middle bit once there was time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went, oh, someone has to sacrifice for the Soul Stone, but this is all in a past alternate timeline anyway, so it doesn't matter who dies here. And then 20 minutes later, they go, it mattered who died there. We can't undo that. And I went, yeah, that would have been nice to know before that scene so that I could have the appropriate reaction.
I felt that, like, I kind of understood that if you're sacrificing someone to get an infinity gem, there's, like, some kind of permanence to that. Like, they are sacrificed.
Unless you're Gamora.
Well, yeah.
That's time travel, man.
Yeah. What I'm saying is there was enough fuzziness around where I went, I don't know how, like, when the snap happened, people were sad. I wasn't sad because I went, well, they're not killing all these people, so they're undoing it. There was enough ambiguity around Black Widow's death where I just went, I don't know if this should be taken seriously or not. Like, I have no idea the stakes, like, how permanent this is.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later they clarified, and it's like, well, we're past that now.
Well, and so I kept thinking, okay, if Gamora can come back, then the Vision's going to be back, right? Because they'll just go get another one of him.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Vision.
But the Vision died because he had a Soul Stone in his head. I guess they couldn't remove that one from the timeline with him.
He's getting a TV show, too, so he'll be back, or...
There's a driver... There's a driver at work who asked me specifically before seeing the movie if the Vision was in the movie. It's like, did I bring back my man Vision? I'm like, I remember seeing him in the movie. I can't answer this question without giving you spoilers. And then he saw it and he came back very upset at me. He's like, man, I didn't want to see it if they didn't bring back Vision, and they didn't bring him back. You lied to me.
You withheld information. Is that really lying?
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's kind of dumb that they could have had Vision back. They didn't have to return all the Infinity Gems.
See, I was thinking the Infinity Gems just exist no matter, like, if Thanos actually destroyed all the Infinity Gems and they are what create time.
They're not.
Well, yeah. But that's how the Sorceress Supreme explains it.
Her explanation is dumb.
She's the Sorceress Supreme. I think
her explanation is dumb. Nope, her explanation is dumb. It's like she was trying to explain something that's unexplainable in 4th grade terms, and it really missed the mark.
Nah. I think there's just a central, like...
I think it's just hand-wavy.
Yeah, like
all of it all together is just like, it just does work. And see, they wanted a time travel that did the things they wanted it to do, so you could see the moments in the other films we all care about. You know, the first Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, and Thor 2.
Dark World, yeah.
The moments we all care about. They wanted time travel that worked like that, but also time travel that didn't cause paradoxes, but also time travel that by the end of it they go, yeah, but we can't really do it all the time, so this never comes up again.
It's Doctor Who time travel. It works so long as the narrative needs it to.
Yeah.
They wanted something that was like in emergencies only, really.
Yeah, even just like tiny time travel, like normal Doctor Strange time stone time travel. They used it once. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, he used it several million times.
Yeah.
But in one
I thought about that. Think about that for a second, though. If an attempt at beating Thanos takes anywhere from 30 minutes to 5 years for Doctor Strange.
Or 3 hours in our case.
Yeah. But so it takes 30 minutes to 5 years per attempt, and he attempted millions of times. How long was he, like, from his perspective, he is, like, infinity years old.
Yeah.
Nah, it's like watching a million movies all at once.
But he didn't watch them all at once. He lived them.
I don't think he lived them.
That's how it worked whenever he beat Dormammu.
He's a better sorcerer now. There's one of the Aqua Teen Hunger Force DVDs where they did a gag where if you hit play all, it plays all the episodes all at once. All on one screen. He did that.
Okay.
Real gross.
Yeah.
So it's only made worse, the time travel disparity, by the fact that Loki, who is very central to every story in the last Avengers arc, pre-character development, just picks up the Tesseract and disappears.
That's only on that timeline.
And I know that's getting explained away with the Disney Plus whatever.
Yeah. Or that's the entire plot of the Disney Plus series that he's in.
But it's just another time where it's like, I wish this got explained a little more, even though this is a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I honestly don't really mind it being very loose.
Yeah.
Like, I loved a lot of the time travel stuff, but also wanted that section to be a little bit shorter.
So hold on. Speaking of the potential impacts of time travel and whatnot, can I bring potential Spider-Man Far From Home spoilers into this?
Is it from the trailer? I haven't seen the trailer. Don't spoil the trailer for me.
Okay, then I will not. That was my question.
I actually don't care. I heard there's like multiverse hints or something.
Yeah. It pretty much hints at the possibility of multiverse and the snap opening up the multiverse. And I don't know if the multiverse is a result of branching timelines or if it's a result of the snap, as the trailer tries to imply. But yeah, that's all.
Maybe Far From Home is going to be like Inglourious Bastards, where we assume it's our universe, and at the end Spider-Man dies, and they're like, "Oh, psych! It was the other universe, the one where they killed Hitler."
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. Like there was somewhere in that time travel scene, I went, you know what? This movie's already really long.
Oh, that reminds me. So I kind of wish we could redo the film, which is possible with time travel. But I want to just have them really quickly in the first part of the film, like the first half, figure out time travel, get the Infinity Stones. Thanos shows up, and right before he's about to kill everyone, Hulk or somebody is like, hits the reset button on their time machine, and it goes to an alternate universe where the other half of the Avengers are alive and everyone else is dead. And the movie starts completely over, but with those characters.
That would be dumb.
It would be amazing. So it's the entire film again up to that point. Just playing out with the new characters.
Except in the alternate version where Tony Stark and the Hulk are both dusted.
Yeah.
There is no plot.
No. That's where Hank Pym just does it all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And Shuri is there? Or
True.
Well, Black Panther's there. Anyway, they're smart people that didn't survive the snap that could swap out.
I guess so, yeah.
I really like the idea
Strange?
of a film going
Dr.
to completion.
Strange in the other one?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
See? They got the Supreme Sorcerer?
The good one?
Yeah.
Not the bad one?
Yeah, it was weird that they went to Thor 2 land.
Yeah. Like the most disliked movie?
Yeah.
I think that was just so he could have a conversation with his mom.
Yeah, well, but also, like, I've never...
the One Soul Stone.
Well, yeah.
It's been a long time since I watched Thor 1 and 2, but I didn't remember his mom at all.
No.
Yeah.
It felt like a big character moment that I was just like, okay, you could have done this off screen.
She's also a really interesting character now, and I'm sad that I think she's just done.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like not fazed at all by him being a time traveling version of himself.
That's the coolest part. She's like, I was raised by witches. I get this. I'm cool.
Yeah. But yeah, what other points in time could they have gone for the reality gem?
I have no idea because I don't remember any of the lore.
I think Benicio del Toro had it at some point, but
yeah, they could have just gone to space with everyone else.
Oh yeah, okay. That could have been a way to get Howard the Duck back in for a moment.
Supposedly Howard the Duck did exist in this movie.
Oh,
in the big scene where they're pulling everyone in through the portals.
Oh.
He's in there somewhere.
Oh, that's the thing that I did kind of feel like was a missed opportunity. Is they totally should have had just a real quick scene of John C. Reilly flying spaceships into attack with everyone else.
I mean, they should have had a real quick scene of all the Marvel Netflix people.
Yeah.
Just one really quick scene.
Like the Defenders just fighting people off by themselves.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't need much, but it was more than they cared to pay Netflix or something. Like, I'm sure it was, like, logistically harder to do than the rest of it, so it wouldn't have made them any more money.
Yeah.
They made $2 billion. I think they'll be okay.
Well, when you have $1 billion, what is $1 million but money you don't have to spend if you don't have to?
Yeah.
due to budget cutbacks, all the Avengers have been replaced by sock puppets. Because we know you'll pay for a ticket anyway.
I enjoyed it, mostly.
Yeah.
I've kind of checked out of the larger Marvel universe in that, like, I don't know if everything's a must-see anymore.
Yeah, I've still been catching everything, but I'm getting more lethargic about getting to the theater for it. Like, I'm very excited for Detective Pikachu, and it's like really excited to see a new thing like that.
Yeah, and Sonic.
Not Sonic.
Yeah.
Not Sonic.
Yeah, but I'm really excited to go see John Wick 3.
Yeah.
And maybe by John Wick 7, I'll be tired of them. But
by John Wick 22.
Like, I still want to see all of them, but I'm not at the same place I was when Avengers, even Age of Ultron came out. About the whole series.
Like, the first Avenger movie, I was really psyched. And we went to that all-day festival.
Well, that was what Endgame is to everyone, to us.
Yeah. And then
this was the culmination of everything. A movie where people team up.
Age of Ultron, I was excited to go see it, and then I was like, well, that was okay. I wasn't, like, as excited leaving.
I think I enjoyed Ultron more than a lot of everyone else did.
So there's a guy at work who was, like, watching Endgame, or he was watching one of them, and, like, commenting on the characters that he wanted to see in the Marvel movies. And he mentioned, like, can't wait till they bring Quicksilver in, since they had Scarlet Witch. And I'm like, have you not seen Age of Ultron? He dies in Age of Ultron. He's been there. And he's like, oh, no, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
like,
no.
Why are you watching this movie if you haven't seen... He was like, he listed all the movies before that he hadn't seen yet. And I'm like, you poor sweet man. You need to watch these in order.
I mean, you could skip some.
But if he's the type of person who knows that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are, like, connected characters,
that's true.
And like,
yeah, but you can, like, I don't know. I could see these movies becoming a thing like comics, where you, like, I've been checked out of comics for 10 years. What's going on? This one looks exciting. I'll jump back in.
I could see that. I mean, there's certain series like Star Wars where I don't think I'll ever stop being excited for a new Star Wars.
I think I'll start whenever they start coming out with those Game of Thrones people's Star Wars movies.
That's true.
The showrunners of Game of Thrones, they're gonna have a trilogy or something.
Oh yeah.
If it's the Old Republic, like I've heard rumblings of, that'd be really fun.
Yeah, I'll probably be excited for them.
But there'll probably be some crazy lady involved. They'll be like, she's crazy now.
My faith in Game of Thrones people has wavered. They seem to be quite decent at adapting material that already exists, but once they're kind of on their own, I don't trust them.
And there's scenes that are so good, like shot so well.
Oh yeah.
And then there's just randomly, like, just bizarre choices with story.
Yeah, that latest episode had such beautiful moments inside of it.
I don't want to say, but there were some really beautiful things, and it's just, how is this happening in this story?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I think I feel weird about this movie because I feel like I should like it more than I do.
Yeah.
Because it feels like I need to have more like for it, because, I don't know, when I think back to Thor Ragnarok, I'm like, man, I really like that movie. And then I think back to this one and I'm just like, I don't know if I feel the same emotions towards this one that I do. It's like, part of it is, I think part of the enjoyment just comes from, like, the plus percentage rating it gets for being number 22 or something.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like
when you socket 2 gems of the same type, you get a bonus. I feel like Avengers Endgame, I can't disentangle how much of a bonus it gets for being
socketed with 21 other gems.
Yeah. And how much it gets for being a movie I legitimately enjoy. Like, there's so many parts I really like the Smart Hulk. I like Captain America fighting a time travel version of himself is really good. Like, there's so many good parts, but there's also really a lot of stuff that brings it down.
I like the beginning of the Captain America fight scene. What was it that he said? And then the time traveling version of him was just like, yeah, I know.
I love how much
say that.
how much character development Captain America has had to see the first instance and to see the latest. I was like, like this is a really good like narrative introspection.
Yeah.
I mean, I forgot that Captain America used to like be like, watch your language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very clean cut.
Yeah. I just keep thinking back to, I think Captain America Civil War might be one of my favorites of the whole thing. And I guess I probably need to rewatch it, but I just felt like it did a lot of the similar things that Infinity War and Endgame are trying to do. Like, I know it's bringing a lot more characters to the table, but Civil War felt pretty packed.
It not only brought characters, it brought 2 brand new characters to the table.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't have any new characters.
Yeah.
Has Morgan Stark.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah, true. It does have 1 new character.
And I could feel like when I was watching Civil War, I could feel like this is struggling under the weight of everything it has to get done.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it was a chugging. Like barely able to load all the assets. But I feel like it was better paced than this movie, or even if you put this movie together with Infinity War and treat it as a outrageously long movie.
I will say this movie's greatest strengths are in all the little quiet moments, like hipster Hulk in the back of a truck with Rocket. That's just such a good, like, such a well shot, and I'm trying to think of like the way the scene was just set up was just really beautiful. And then he just goes and talks to Thor for a while, and it's so comical and natural, and all that feels so good. And then it's like, oh, right, we've got to get back to Time Heist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, speaking of going and talking to Thor in New Asgard, how the heck does Fortnite survive 5 years of semi-post-apocalyptic world?
Half of all good gamers are dead, Josh.
They aren't making new games, man.
Oh,
they're keeping Fortnite alive with free servers like they do with WoW, original WoW.
Okay.
It's a dedicated fan base.
All the Asgardians play it.
Yes, it's when Thor makes the threat, he's actually threatening the kid down the street.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like seeing the scene where Ant-Man is walking down the street and there's just like garbage piled up and he's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Where am I? And then comparing that to, yeah, there's still like Fortnite going on. It's like some stuff hasn't changed.
I figured it out. It's the composition of all the quiet scenes is so well done. Like the scene where Captain America is in like a support group. I was like, oh, yeah, this is just really well shot. I feel like we're in a brand new movie now.
And we get our first gay Marvel character.
Oh, man.
Okay. I really, really thought that at the end of the battle, like, Bucky was going to tip War Machine back and they were just going to start going hog. And our big gay moment is just a random extra being like, I went on a date with a guy.
Random extra? That's one of the directors.
Yeah. But he's not a named character in the movie. I mean, he's not even Happy's level of being a named character.
It's weird.
It wouldn't have been so bad, I think, if there wasn't so much hype about, like, if the filmmakers hadn't hyped it.
It is weird that they, like, did that and then patted themselves on the back, basically. That's the weird part. Like,
I didn't realize they actually patted themselves on the back and made a big deal of it.
Yeah, I think that is what makes it kind of gross.
It was a fine moment. Like, that was fine.
Like, it was a whatever, just, like, casual throw it in there. But to say, like, we did it.
Because I think that's the thing, is they kind of like told the fan communities, like, wink wink, we've heard you.
Yeah, like, it's important for us to put representation in there.
I mean, it would be shitty if that's the reason and that they did it. Just like, we did this thing for you, this tiny, tiny thing for you. And then made a big deal of it.
And I'm thinking of it just devoid of any commentary. The moment seems fine. Like, it's very...
Yeah.
Like, just a normal thing that happens kind of moment.
See, but like, if they thought beforehand that it wasn't that big a deal and tried to put it in, and then higher-ups gave them pushback on it and they fought for it to keep in that small thing, then that would make sense. If they're like congratulating themselves on putting up a fight over something so small and like standing their ground on it. But
I don't
it's
think
still
that
not
happened.
Yeah, it's probably not what happened.
Yeah, there's like just like 10 articles when you search for gay character in Endgame that are all just Marvel's first canonically gay character.
As far as I'm concerned, that was Carol Danvers.
Yeah, no. Captain Marvel, if they don't bring that up more in number 2, I'm going to be very like sorely let down. Because that would be such a much better.
It was definitely subtextual there.
Yeah.
But this is the first confirmed gay character in a Marvel movie.
They didn't have to J.K. Rowling this one.
Speaking of weird moments, more people were crying in the theater than at Tony Stark's funeral.
Yeah. Since I was crying during that scene a little bit, I didn't notice. And then rewatching it, I was like, oh, this is very awkward.
The kid isn't crying. I think one person was like fully teary-eyed, and everyone else was just doing that like stoic look off into the distance.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that the directors told them that they were at a wedding.
A wedding on the water.
We don't want to spoil that a character... Like, I guess they could have... If they said a character dies and then did process of elimination, everyone could have figured out who it was. But
they could have had Robert Downey Jr. also attend and just CGI him out.
Yeah.
Or just have such a big crowd that you just show everyone individually.
Or everyone was saying Iron Man and Captain America dies anyway, so it would have gotten lost in the flood of people predicting that. Like, what is a spoiler that one of them dies? I think spoiler culture has gone too far if they can't make the movie correctly because they're afraid someone might spoil it before it comes out.
When I was seeing people talk about how the spoiler culture might be driven by the studios to like try to like rev up ticket sales for the first couple of weeks. Because then there was the big deal about like Marvel's lifting the spoiler ban.
Yeah, there was like that weird, I guess they had like a weird sizzle reel type thing of like, it was supposed to be like footage that someone took at a premiere type event. And there was a whole like, don't spoil the Endgame campaign that I didn't pay too much attention to because I didn't want spoilers.
Yeah. See, that's what I don't like for spoilers, no matter what movie it is. If I'm interested in seeing it, I don't like it when someone just posts like directly to Facebook in text. Weird that Tony Stark died. Like, oh, that's a lot. But I don't know. You can just have the slightest amount of like, hey, spoilers, space. I don't know. It's all about being polite.
Yeah.
I think more social media needs to have the spoiler tag option where you have to actually click on it to see what the spoiler is.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I will say this movie was hard to be spoiled. Because I think someone had spoiled for me that Tony was going to die. But with all the time travel, with the people coming back left and right, I was like, well, maybe he dies and then he comes back? I don't know. So it subverted my expectations enough that I couldn't exactly follow what was going to happen next.
Yeah. And you weren't sad that Black Widow died until 20 minutes later when Hulk said, sorry, we can't.
I think
oh no,
not everyone was on your same page as you.
Well, I felt bad on that scene because I was like, okay, they're going to fight over who goes over the edge. And then they did it. And then Black Widow went over the edge, like, and was pretty sure that she was going to be the one. And I was just, no, I didn't mean it. I take it back. I wanted Barton to fall. I wanted it to be Barton.
I wanted it to be Barton too. And they like reversed it back and forth so many times.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing for me is like I wasn't thinking that, it's going to be reversed by the snap or anything. I was thinking whoever here is dying, but then it kept going back and forth, and I'm like,
yeah, yeah. I was more mad that it wasn't Hawkeye than sad that it was Black Widow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the moment, I went, I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
And then I went, she's supposed to have a movie, so I think that factored into did she get brought back? So there was a lot of unsuredness in the moment. But yeah.
That does remind me, one of the things that I am kind of mad about is Gamora died, and then through time travel they bring her back, but at a her meeting Quill moment.
Yeah.
Which means both the James Gunn movies, as far as their interaction goes, don't really exist. And I mean,
they exist for Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it almost felt like a big FU to James Gunn to just be like, we just undid this romance you've been working on for a while. And maybe that's something they'll cover later, but
they didn't undo it. They roadblocked it.
Yeah.
They gotta do it again.
They killed her last time, so they already had they messed up his stuff, and then when she came back, they unmessed it up in a weird way where it's still messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 51st Infinity Dates.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that movie might have Thor in it.
Yeah, since they're as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
So who knows what Guardians of the Galaxy 3 looks like?
Supposedly it's gonna feature Rocket mostly, or be his storyline.
Yeah.
So let's go through this list of characters.
Oh god.
And see who do you think, or who do you have a comment on?
What list of characters? Where?
After the plot.
On the Wikipedia.
There's some. I was gonna start with the bottom, so we didn't start with Tony Stark. But the bottom of the list seems really weird that there's Thanos on the bottom of the list, and then Pepper Potts, Rocket, Happy. Are these in any particular order?
Doesn't sound like it.
John Favreau as Harold Happy Hogan.
He's gonna buy that little girl a bunch of cheeseburgers.
Benedict Wong as Wong.
You want more Wong?
Who is that?
That's Doctor Strange's assistant.
No, the one above it. Sorry.
Oh.
Okoye?
Wakandan traditionalists? Oh, that's the...
One of the what are they called? They're called something. Yeah. The Beloved? No, that seems wrong.
It's the lady from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, but what are they called in that? The something melange?
Dora Milaje.
Dora Milaje.
It's right there.
Yeah,
right
what
there.
are they? What does that mean though? They mean something. Adored ones. That's what it is. They're ceremonial wives in training. I don't know if that's what they are in the movies, but that's what they are in the comic book I was reading.
Yeah. So yeah. This list of characters.
Oh yeah, they kind of forgot about Captain Marvel for a long while because she could just kill a spaceship in one hit.
Yeah, they intentionally left her out of the fight until after the spaceship kept Scarlet Witch from absolutely destroying Thanos. Scarlet Witch had him pretty much half ripped apart, and then the spaceship came in and stopped her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then now we can put Captain Marvel back in the fight.
Yeah. Could they have just given Captain Marvel a heads up hey, come back to Earth. We have the Infinity Stones. Gonna use them. Just thought you should be on hand. Would that have killed them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she was really wasted in this movie.
She was. But space is big. Other people don't have the Avengers.
She was especially wasted whenever it, the whole end of the last movie was, oh, but wait. We could have Captain Marvel. She's the deciding factor, maybe. No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then there's that whole scene where she's like, last time you faced him, you didn't have me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know they wanted this movie to be about all the old people doing one last thing, but it would have been fun to have her on the time heist.
Yeah.
She knows the area. She's from that time.
But she's not.
Well, she wouldn't have to worry about running into herself, that's for sure.
Yeah.
If she went out in space, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they just put her in here she wasn't necessary to the plot, like the end of Infinity War made it seem. Like, she's going to be the thing that saves everyone. I think it was just to sell people on the Captain Marvel movie.
Which,
like, she's going to be in Endgame, guys. You got to see her movie before.
Yeah.
I liked Endgame, or I liked Captain Marvel, I think, more than this movie.
Oh, really?
Because I feel like the plot was so much more compact and the characters had more depth. I don't know, had more time to explore them anyway.
I think Captain Marvel is, what did I say? Like, the high end of middle tier. I think I judge these movies, a big factor I judge these on is their action, because they are action movies, and I want to see some spectacle. And the action in Captain Marvel was a little bit lacking because she's too powerful. She started blowing up whole spaceships, and I went, okay.
That's her move, man.
I was happy to see some Amy Dangerous on screen already. Like, someone's already put her on film.
Yeah. But I don't know. I also didn't care for what they did with Nick Fury's character in Captain Marvel.
I thought that was good. That shows you how much he's grown. Know.
True, I guess. He has come a long way. But they also hinted in past movies that he was already quite a badass around that time.
Yeah. 20 years makes a big change in a person. And, like, how big their legend grows.
I rate it around where Doctor Strange is for me. Like, that was pretty all right, and I think a second one will be really good.
See, I like all the weird Marvel movies, though. Like Iron Man 3 and Ragnarok. Like,
well, everyone loves Ragnarok.
Ragnarok is top tier, man.
Yeah, everyone does love it, but you can't say it's, like, as normal as, say, Iron Man 1, like, as far as superhero movies.
I think Iron Man 1 is overrated, and Iron Man 2 is underrated.
That is true.
As far as an action movie goes, I think Iron Man 2 is pretty good.
Who's the villain in that one?
Whiplash and Hammer Industries. Sam Rockwell.
With the Boyd. He wants his Boyd.
Just like in every Iron Man movie, the bad guy is a bunch of Iron Man suits.
To run back to the character list, I'm glad that it only took 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies and an Avenger movie to finally kind of figure out Nebula as a character.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure my favorite scene is her playing paper football.
Yeah. I mean, I think they figured it out in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
That was where it really clicked together.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm sad that Gamora's going to be like reset. Like, maybe they're going to do some fun things with where she's at as a person, but I'm just like, this is just like character growth erasement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even just her relationship with Quill that's being erased. Yeah, like all of her development with Nebula also.
Yeah. So we'll see, I guess, whenever that next one comes out.
I think part of the plot is going to be them looking for her as she's out in the wind.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. Thinking about characters, Ant-Man, War Machine, and Black Widow are all present and all do a good job, but I don't feel like anything really happens for them. Like as far as them growing much.
Black Widow's character definitely developed.
I do want to take issue with they have a lot of character development happen off screen.
Yeah.
Like, Black Widow's become like a management type person of like logistically assigning all the Avengers to things, and Hulk,
see, that just seems like
became one with himself off screen.
The Hulk thing, I think, that was the one off screen thing that I was like, that seems fine, because it would have just been him like yelling while in a machine, like growling, and then he would have popped out as one person.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was such a good reveal for me, too, because I thought the pictures of Hipster Hulk were Photoshop. And then when they came him on screen, I actually, real life, yelped a little bit. Just, they actually did that.
Yeah.
And see, like, with the Hulk, like, that character development happens off screen, and he's just kind of there for the movie, and, like, does little character things. But since the story isn't really revolving around him personally, I think it's okay for him not for it to center around on him too much.
Well, like, I mean, the story doesn't really revolve around anyone.
It's kind of Tony.
Iron Man. Yeah.
I feel like it kind of revolves around Tony.
Tony even gets his own scene with meeting his dad.
Yeah.
It's definitely a Tony Stark movie.
And I think it partially also gets shared with Captain America and Thor.
Yeah, I think it doesn't revolve around any one person, but I don't see why those are the ones that get character development on screen, and everyone else has to they grew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. It's not any one person's movie.
As far as on-screen character development time, it's only a handful of characters.
And see, that's the reason, Black Widow, the part of, a big part of the plot revolves around her. I could have used a little more on-screen development of what leads to that. Yeah. Or, Ant-Man.
I think they couldn't have too much of it because that takes away from the shock of, boom, 5 years later.
Well, I mean, after 5 years later.
Yeah, but she doesn't even get that much. I think Hulk gets more you can see him being different now than you can see of Black Widow before she's just kind of gone
Black
again.
Widow's 2-year change is that her hair's grown out.
2-year change, 5-year change, man.
5-year change, sorry.
3-year change.
No.
I think it is 3.
No, it's 5.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Pretty sure it's
5. I have
5.
no idea.
Why didn't anyone check in on the Hulk in 5 years?
Yeah, they were surprised also. They were like, so, I like what you've done.
If Ant-Man was freaking out, that would be one thing since he's been gone for 5 years. But everyone else should just be yeah, so that was a good poker night the other day, right?
3 years is The Leftovers, and I just watched that. So.
Oh.
Everyone go watch The Leftovers.
No, stop plugging your show.
It's really good.
No, go watch the original Avengers, the Venture Brothers.
So, what other characters we got here?
I mean, I think the rest are more background.
Yeah.
Oh,
on this list.
I do love how much work and how much change we got to see with Valkyrie, even though she's in only a couple of scenes. Because seeing her go from being the town drunk in Ragnarok to being the town leader in Endgame is just really nice.
Yeah, Valkyrie's now King Valkyrie.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And I think it's neat that they settled in the same place where Odin was the last time in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember my other kind of thing that I wasn't super happy with. So they talked up how exciting the big girl moment was going to be in Endgame. And it just sort of happens. It's fine. It's fun. I teared up at that scene, but again, it was just another they could have done more. I think it's
the big girl moment is too heavy-handed. It is way too heavy-handed because it's just how are you going to get across this battlefield with my help? With my help, we'll all do it. We're all women. It's just every single woman in the franchise, some of which aren't even going to be much super helpful in that fight, but they're there and no men are there. I don't know.
Also, the question they pose is how is Captain Marvel gonna get across the field with the Infinity Gauntlet? Well, she just blew up a spaceship, so I think she's good.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna make it.
She could just fly through a spaceship, so I think a couple people is gonna not slow her down.
I think she just flies across because what ends up happening is they all do a move and then she just ends up flying across. Yeah. I'm well, that was the answer.
It's still cool, and that whole scene's still cool. I like the part where Spider-Man is just in the fetal position and they take the gauntlet from him. I was that's pretty good. But yeah, it's hard for me to diss any scene that involves a Pegasus throwing Peter Parker. So I can't give it too much trouble, but
yeah.
Also, it seems really coincidental that all of the females were on that side of the battlefield and able to get in position, but yet, none of the men were able to. It was too heavy-handed.
Yeah. So, overall, thoughts?
I enjoyed it, and it was, for how much it needed to carry on its shoulders, pretty solid at what it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
Thumbs up 80%.
I think a lot of one of the other things we didn't talk about is the logistics of Captain America returning all of the stones.
No, it's the same with time travel.
Yeah, but like the fact that it didn't happen on camera and like what all he did.
So, yeah, he goes and shacks up with Peggy Carter. And here's one of those moments where I'm pretty sure different creators of the movie had different ideas about that. Because I think one group was like, yeah, he was always her husband. And
oh no, can't happen. Not a thing.
Wait. One of the creators said, yeah, he was just always her husband and we just never saw him. But that means he shacked up with one of his relatives in Winter Soldier.
They just kissed.
Did they?
Yeah, because Captain America wouldn't have sex with someone without marrying them first.
True.
I guess so.
Captain America's a virgin.
Yeah.
And then he just...
At least until the end of this one, if you know what I mean.
But also, that's not how time travel works.
I think it is. So. I think it is because I think time travel always works how it always worked.
No.
It doesn't. I think... I don't want to get into it because I don't think it matters. And I think that's what they're saying. It doesn't matter. And I think it just works how it is.
You can't change the past.
They didn't change the past. The past was always Captain America returned to that point in time and lived out the rest of his life. It always happened that way. They always stole the Infinity Gems. And
no.
Yeah, there's no alternate timelines. Since they returned
alternate timelines.
Since they returned the Infinity Gems, there's no alternate timelines.
No, because Loki didn't fucking escape.
Yeah, and that always happened now.
No, it didn't. The past didn't change.
Yes, the past. I'm saying the past did not change. It was always that way, and it has always been that way. But it wasn't
always that way.
It is, yes.
Josh.
You can't have both.
Josh, off screen, Loki disappears, and everyone's like, where the shit did he go? Wait, look for him, look around. And then he just reappears.
And then he shows back up. Oh, okay.
And it's him like 6 years later after the conclusion of his TV show.
You don't know.
No.
That could be what happens.
Back to that point.
That could be why we have such character development between the end of the first Avengers movie and the next time we see him.
Yeah.
I also love, this is a sidetrack, but they pass him in the lobby of Avengers Tower, and then he's also in the background of the jail, and just the way they set up those two scenes to mirror that he's just in both. I was really hoping they just keep having scenes with Loki in the background.
Yeah. I guess I didn't notice that those were like back-to-back scenes. That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wanna break off real quick for a quick what if scenario. What if they did all the testing of the time machine and they got all suited up and it's all dramatic, and they get up on the platform to time travel, and then all the Infinity Stones just appear with like a handwritten note and says, "We did it, guys, from the future. Well, your past. We just dropped them off here so we simplify the plot." And it's a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure time travel where they just have to say, "I'm going to make sure I go do that."
Yeah, I was saying like what Captain America did was he didn't return the things to their spots. What he did was took the Infinity Gems to each of the groups that went out to get them and said, "Y'all can go back now." And so he just created a little tiny loop where the Infinity Gems keep getting constantly recycled in that smaller loop. All right, and then for about 20 minutes, Josh and I argued about time travel. We were both wrong about certain things. I was saying there was no alternate realities, and there's clearly alternate realities. And what sums up the problem with time travel in Endgame the most might be this quote I found afterwards that kind of defused Josh and I's argument about the movie. This is from a Yahoo Entertainment article. Again, that's not a definitive answer since opinions differ among the MCU brass. But Marcus and McFeely, those are the screenwriters, did weigh in on one of the biggest questions fans have been left with: whether or not Steve Rogers was always the husband of Peggy Carter in the MCU, given the revelation of his own solo time travel efforts in the film's closing minutes. And then this is a direct quote from one of the writers. "That's our opinion. To be fair, I think Joe and Anthony, the directors, might have a different opinion, and it kind of depends on what Marvel wants to do going forward. But it was our thought that Steve lived in his own timeline, and always married Peggy, and those kids you see in Winter Soldiers are his. So just here in this one sentence, Steve lived in his own timeline, but also it was the same timeline we saw in Winter Soldier. So even if he can't agree with himself in a single sentence, I think it's fair to say that no one knows. All right. They're going to bring out theme song was Free Harmonics by the Free Harmonic Orchestra. Used on Creative Commons license. You can use any of this under Creative Commons license. Share alike and by attribution, I believe. Check us out wherever, and I think they're going to say goodbye. But I'll say goodbye now. Bye.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
I'm going to cut out all that. Where do we want to actually end the episode?
I was just going to add in tack here on the end that I wrote my big thoughts on everything on calculating normals. If you want to read more, and I'll link to it whenever the double issue episode comes out.
Whenever that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were we ending things? There's some major editing going on to figure out where all these endings come in. Daniel already ended it. Oh, okay. Okay, bye.
This is a Facebook review of Amazon. Amazon logistics sucks dick. I will not be renewing my Prime membership when the time comes. Amazon's reply. I'm sorry to hear about this, Cindy. We'd like to take a look into this with you. Do you mind letting us know what's going on with your deliveries without giving personal account-related information? Robert R. They always get delayed and never arrive. One time the driver was in my driveway. I stepped outside. He looked me right in the eye and left. That sounds true. I searched the property. No package. I then received a text message saying my delivery has been delayed. Needless to say, I canceled the order. Now today, I give them another shot, and I'm told my package is out for delivery. Next thing I know again, there's been a delay, and my package will arrive between today and Friday. Obviously, again, en route, I was forced to cancel my order. Why do they insist on such a third world delivery service when we pay for Prime membership? I've been recording. You can get my whole rant here.
Well, I just started.